Please stand. Please play. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody please bow their head. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless us this evening as we conduct business for our community. Thank you for everything you've given us, our opportunities, our weather, our health. Please watch over all of us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Approval or reading of minutes from September 8th.
Motion to approve and suspend the reading.
We have a motion by Wolf.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor of approving or reading the minutes, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Approve the agenda. Any additions or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented, Dan.
Okay, motion by Pillar.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor of approving this agenda, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Agenda is approved. 5A, Engineers Report. Jared.
Okay, thank you. I don't have much here. We'll go fast, but Monty's been keeping track with the Special Assessment Committee as far as the street and project closeout goes. Sorry.
Dan, can you hear Jared?
Yep, I can hear him.
Okay, thank you.
So really, I mean, we're done with the work. We're just getting the stuff put on taxes. They're doing the work. You'll see it in the newspaper. We'll get through that process, but I expect I'll be involved in justifying and explaining some of that stuff as we go here. So can be difficult, but just know that's coming up. Really, the only things I have for decisions tonight are quote from Bechtold Paving. If you recall at the last meeting, we got a quote from those guys about $18,000 to correct the problems on 11. And we were going to wait for the developer, it's on the screen, excuse me, to decide, well, to agree to pay for this stuff. So I've been involved in some correspondence this last month. We're asking them to pay for that as it was their deficiencies from the improvement project that they did to add a subdivision in Hazen. Monty, can I ask you to tell us what they decided?
They have not decided yet. I talked to Daryl this morning again. He was going back and forth with Mr. Williams in Massachusetts. He's pushing to have them just do the corrections that are on this quote and pay for it. And then as an alternative, it was suggested that perhaps it could be paid for by us and assessed back to them. But that's not the ideal.
And you know, Pat, correct me if I'm wrong, if you know, we're going through the special assessment stuff here, if they do petition to do that, they send us an email saying, please do it and assess it to us, we could just throw it on their taxes, I mean, in the next 2 weeks here. So we need to know damn fast if they want us to do it that way. But it would just be the city paying for it, and they're waiving their right to protest, to just go on those lots. It's risky because if the developer decides, you know, to walk away from those lots, you guys know who pays the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So,
As I was told, they're pushing to just do it and pay for it and include it in their legal action that they have pending.
okay. We've got about 6 weeks of, well, normally just the unofficial deadline of asphalt operations is about the 10th of November. That's when things generally shut down. It's hard to get asphalt after that point. So we're getting up, and we can easily decide at the next meeting as long as Bechtold wants to do it. And I know they do, but we'll have to decide at the next meeting. Next thing is that we had gotten quotes from different companies to do the water main insulating. The last meeting, we asked if Bowers would honor their quote for construction next year's, and they will. So it's about $18,000 to lower those, or excuse me, insulate those 6 water service lines that have had trouble freezing for years and years and years. So I believe it was the council's wishes at the last meeting to, if they would honor that price for next year and still do it, that we would accept it, knowing that we will not, I mean, they're not gonna do the asphalt patching, that'll be something we'll have to take on ourselves whenever there's a contractor in town. But it's a much more attractive price than the number 2 and number 3 bidders who were in the 50s and 70,000s. So I just need to get back to them and tell them, put it on the schedule or don't, and then when they do the work next spring, we gotta pay them for it. So I think we should have, if you want to do that, we should get some kind of approval for that.
Absolutely. What's the wishes of the board?
Need a motion to,
Yes.
I will make that motion.
A motion by Wolf to accept the bid for $18,590 for the work to be done next spring.
Full second that.
Second by Pillar. Discussion.
So then I guess, how's this gonna get
This one?
paid for then? And the patching as well, and
Well, I guess we had discussed at the meeting when you weren't here that if we had it done, we could then decide how it could be taken care of. That it's not, if we're doing this, it's not saying that the city's paying for it 100%. It's that we have now time to decide how we're paying for it, but it needs to be done, so. And to come up with some ideas. I know there are some different ideas on how to, who to pay and how to pay.
Sure. Obviously, the property owners want it paid for. They'd love to have it paid for all by us, I'm sure.
I honestly think that some of them don't care. I mean, yeah, they probably want us to pay for it, but I think if it gets fixed and we
Just
fix the
want it done.
problem,
Mhm.
I think they'll be really happy. So,
Well, cost share obviously would be great, and,
Yeah.
you know, but. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
know,
guess-
I don't know, Casey.
well, I
That's
mean,
not, that's very vague.
as I buy things, I guess I know, upfront how that is, it's gonna get us paid for it, but.
Well, is that something, Monty, that we can use sales tax money for? I mean,
For infrastructure.
if we had to, I mean,
Where does the money come currently that pays the excessive water bills for the planned water usage prevented from freezing?
Just from the water distribution fund.
did you hear that, Dan?
Yep.
Okay. Well, and you know, that we could definitely invite those landowner property owners and have a meeting with them too, outside of this council meeting, with the group of us, and then talk about that, but I think we just need to get it on the books to get it done and then figure out the way we're gonna get paid for it. I agree, Casey, I don't buy things without knowing where the money, which account is coming out of or whatever, but, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it should be like a special, if you look at some of these, I guess, like current, projects that are, they're gonna be charged, there were then, I guess, like sewer lines in there too.
Casey brings up a good point here. If we do look at the history, as we were going through these street projects, we found that we had problems with some of the previous construction on some of these streets, and that's going into the specials. It may be that the property owners have received a reprieve up to this point in the fact that the city has reimbursed for the excessive use. Now we're ready to pull the trigger to get a fix in there. So maybe they would be open to that discussion. And we're looking to put hopefully a final solution in here, and that we could all share that together.
And like Jerry stated, I'd like to have a meeting with the residents who are affected by this, because it was also brought up at a meeting, the last meeting, that some of the responsibility was taken on by the city when we said we'd pay for the water. So did we claim that it was our problem? We didn't say it was their problem, so you have to pay for the water if you want to keep your lines open. So it's a two-way street, I guess, and I'd like to hear their opinions. Maybe they want to pay 100% for it, just to get it done. I don't know, I don't live there, so, you know, I'd like to see discussion on it with the people that are affected mostly.
Well, but on that same, I guess, note, I mean, you know, I guess, as we have a road in town, that's bad, you know, and then like year after year, then all we do is, I guess, patch it, you know, I guess. And then I guess what you're saying is that we know that road's bad, so then we should be the ones that.
Well, it's a little bit different
pay
than
for
the
that
road. I mean, the paving part of it, I agree, that should be specialed out if they want that, to finish that, but I think the water situation is a city problem, myself. But, you know, that's my opinion. The paving part of it, yeah, we always have to pay for our own paving. If you want your street paved, we specialize, so.
And maybe that becomes part of the agreement with the landowners, is that the repair of the insulation portion of it, maybe the city takes that on, and then the specials would be for all of the patching that would occur for those streets.
None of this work's gonna be done this year.
Yeah.
In my mind, I want to tell the contractor if the city of Hazen's thinking we're going to do it or not. These bids, you know, I don't have, after 30 days, usually they're kaput, so Bowers is agreeing to honor it. So we're not gonna have a signed contract, but I'm gonna email them back and tell them we're planning to do it or we're not, is kind of where I sit, so.
Well, the way the motion sits is that it is planned to do it this spring. Then I think we just need to figure out in the meantime. This bid obviously is way better than the other two, or of the three, that's by far the best one.
The contractor's not gonna order a bunch of materials on this one, we're
Right.
talking some sheets of insulation.
Mhm.
So it's not like we're telling them to do it and they're gonna buy $50,000 pipe.
Right. Okay. So I think for this motion today, I think it's just to solidify the fact for the contractor that he can
Plan for the work.
put it on the calendar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it'd be like May, June. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, after thought, sometime after thought, yeah. After the process up, yeah.
If we don't tell him until next July, I mean, it might not get done, but if we
Right,
tell him we
absolutely.
want him here first thing in the spring.
Yeah.
Try and do it, so.
Okay.
I'm sorry to be pushy, I just want to get
No, I understand.
this one on the books at least, if we
Yeah.
want.
I don't wanna lose this bid either.
I know.
It's gonna have to be done, and, you know. Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Wolf,
Aye.
Heller,
Aye.
Stern,
No,
Obenauer.
Aye. Okay, let the contractor know, please.
I will let him know.
Yep, passed.
Okay. Last thing that I have is just updates on your water tank situation here. We met the landowners today. They were very, very good, very cooperative. You know, Jerry has visited with them both already, so they knew what was coming. But the general thing that I needed to get out of today was which side of the fences that easements were going to go on, so we can, you know, describe easements on one side versus the other. Doesn't show land ownership on this, but generally, when we do this, we'll place a tank up here, but we'll get rid of these dead end water main connections up here. the higher up tank will fix the water pressure issues. The connecting the dead ends will fix your fire flow issues. So we need two connections anyways. We have to describe the right of way and the easements, and again, we'll do that. The owners were very cooperative. I mean, they just said, yep, put them here, put it here, put it here. Really good to work with. So no surprises. Not really negotiating anything. They're just waiting for us to get that stuff done and sent out. And from the way it sounded, they'd sign it and be done. And the way I understand it, we're going to get the property stuff figured out and finalized. And one of the big components here is the prairie dog funding, like the three-legged stool. Can't really do much without that funding. So I believe once we get this done, we may be in a waiting pattern until we decide what to do or when to do work. And that's what we told the people today too, is that we'd like to get the land stuff figured out. And maybe a year or 3 years or 10 years until it gets done. But in reality, this is, it's got to get done anyways. So good meeting, really good meeting.
Jared, at one of the past meetings, you mentioned that something about wetlands area. Is that something still needed or concerned about, or?
This little area right down here is actually identified as a wetland. So
It's minor. I'm not talking about like mitigating and buying credits or anything like that. There's temporary impacts.
Yeah.
We might have to get a permit from the Corps. This can slow down construction of projects if we were trying to build something right now.
Okay.
But I'm not worried about it.
All right.
It's just, it's a non-issue.
Okay.
I'll stick around for the meeting, but I don't really have anything else.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jared? Any of this?
Nope.
Thank you. All right, 6A, Convention Visitors 2021 Budget. Carla is here if anybody has questions. That budget has been approved by the CBB board. Carla, do you want to make any comments on it? Or?
Just that ours, the hospitality sales tax collections are within $250 of where they were last year at this time. Considering where we are with the pandemic, I was pretty pleased with that, so that's a positive thing. I also included the reserve fund when this was set up. The reserve fund was set up for 25% of our budget to be put away every year. You can see since 2004, we put away $114,000 into the reserve fund. And then we included the expenditures, the groups and organizations that we've been able to help up until this point. And to date, we're at about $94,000 that we've been able to inject back into groups and organizations to help them with infrastructure projects. So that's pretty exciting. I always think back about the city commission meeting that I was at where we put this convention and visitors bureau into place. And Ken Link was the one who suggested that we do this 25% fund, and I'm so very thankful that he had the foresight to give us that information and to set that up, because it's really made a big difference for our groups and organizations in the city. Other than that, I really don't have anything. It's pretty standard. I feel like I was just here.
Any questions for Carla? Okay, then we need a motion to approve. Move to approve. Okay, motion by Stern,
Second.
second by Wolf. Discussion. Roll call.
Stern.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Pillar.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Thanks, Carla.
Thank you.
Down to reports. Water, sewer.
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Finance. Busing.
I don't have anything.
Police, fire.
Nothing at this time.
Under forestry, would you check with Mike to see if he's given out letters for people that have dead trees in their yard that need to be taken down?
Okay.
HCD.
Well, the only thing I have there is Bank of North Dakota is going to be discussing another version of a flex space program to help businesses because of COVID kinds of stuff. And there's a webinar that's coming up here in a couple of days that I'll sit in on and listen to. Those things really are probably more suited for the bankers, you know, because all of that kind of stuff runs through the banks. But I'm gonna sit in on it just so I'm kind of aware of what kinds of projects would be eligible for some flex-based buy-down stuff. So that's all that I would.
What's our occupancy now, Buster, next door?
Actually, we are going to, there were two, one is, well, let me put it this way. I don't know if they've actually moved in as of yet, but we should be up to 15.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we should be up to 15 because we had two applications that were out. One was approved and I think that one was pending. The person was pending to move in. And then the second application was approved as well last week. So I'm anticipating that that party will be moving in as well. So that would leave 3 open units then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So.
Jill. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, and under my report, today I was contacted by 2 individuals. I think they were in cahoots with each other. They contacted me separately about our city doing more because of COVID. In Mercer County, numbers kind of on the rise, and I was wondering if the city was going to start to mandate things in our community, in our businesses, or make any restrictions above and beyond what the state has outlined for us. And I said at this point, no, we've not. I said that we will, if anything, we will be in contact with Custer Health if that's the situation. We will do that in coordination with them and the county and not do something on our own. So I kind of spoke to those people without consulting with you guys. If you want me to call them back and say something different, I sure can, but they asked for the names not to be, actually the second person didn't even give me their name, but gave me their cell numbers. So that's just kind of, it was, you know, when they call you like that, it's kind of out of the blue and you're answering kind of off the cuff. So I hope I didn't speak out of line, but that's kind of where I went with it.
And I think a majority of the people in this community are practicing some of the guidelines, like wearing face masks. You go to the stores, you see them wearing them, using sanitation, social distancing.
Okay.
You know, I think a majority are.
Well, you know, it's a lot of it stems from our high school is shut down right now,
Yeah.
and the entire high school's on quarantine until October 1st, and I think between Hazen and Beulah, there's quite a few students and staff that are starting to become quarantined, and people are just getting a little nervous, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have under mine. 11A, 2021 city budget, public hearing at 6 o'clock, so we'll wait for that. We'll skip over that and we'll go to 12A, which is shop lighting estimate. Matt, do you want to?
Or if Dave wants to speak.
Dave, go ahead. You have to talk to Mark Olson.
Yeah, we had Dr. out of Bismarck stopped in one day and he was talking about LED lighting and switching over our fluorescent lights to LED. So then I got a hold of Mark. He came in and we counted all the fixtures. And, he came up with an estimate. We do have some really poor lighting. We still got them sodium lights in that center bay that they work when they want. I mean, just energy eaters, and it's just time to do some updating, like brighten the place up a little bit, and get a little bit of energy savings. I mean, they're on usually 8 hours a day. We try to turn them off when we're not there, but they do make a difference.
Dave, is this quote to change out the entire fixture or to just change the lamp style from standard fluorescent to LED?
He'd be taking, I think like what he did here at City Hall, disassembling them, taking the ballast out, and then just, rewiring for the LED bulb using the same fixtures. Except for them sodium ones, I believe some of them would be changed out. I'd have to ask him on that, but they do have bulbs that they can put in those too and use the same fixtures if they're good.
So I'm just reading here. So we don't have a hard number yet from him or from Mark?
And 3455
Oh,
is his hard number, yeah.
3455.
I left out 8 fixtures way back in the west bay where we store the new
Sorry.
garbage cans and dump trucks and stuff sit. There's no reason to convert them to LED because they're very seldom turned on. We turn them on parts the trucks that bank gets turned off. I didn't foresee any big savings. Those could stay fluorescent or whatever, so that's why that's on there too, that little footnote.
Did he give a timeline at all? If we approve this, when it can be done?
No, he didn't. Unless he said something
Did
to
you
Monty.
advertise this as an increase in lumens, or is it just, in terms of the amount of lumens that you're gonna get in your shop, is it gonna be the same, or is he increasing the intensity?
I do believe it would be increasing the intensity.
Monty, this come out of building maintenance or?
Or between that and the shop itself, there's still funds left in the street department. Two big ones. You know, we're not gonna do any crushing, so there's $5,000 there.
Okay.
That could go, at least a portion of it could go to that. You've still got, $1,800 in shop expense. I don't know what major things there would be there yet.
Pretty much, not a lot. A couple batteries we gotta buy for the snow blower, but no big projects or repairs that I can foresee coming.
Okay. So we do have some money in the budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim, what's the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to accept the proposal to change out the lighting to the modern LED style for $3,455.90, or $3,455 even.
Okay, we have motion by Pillar,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion? Roll call.
Pillar,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. All right. So we have advertised 6 o'clock for the public hearing, so we need to wait about 3 minutes.
I'm gonna take care of the bills first.
Sure, we could do that. Yep, let's go to approving of the bills. Anything, Monty?
Added a few there to your list today. Nothing extraordinary.
I will make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Wolf to approve the bills.
Second.
Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor say aye. I'm sorry, roll call.
Wolf,
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Pillar,
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, at this time we will adjourn the regular meeting and we will call the meeting to order for the 2021 budget hearing. Is there anybody here that wants to speak in opposition of our budget or have thoughts or concerns or questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none. Any other discussion?
We need a motion to approve?
We
Or just-
close the hearing first. and then-
Oh, okay.
Okay, hearing none, we will close the public hearing for the 2021 budget. And we will reconvene the regular board meeting and go back to 11A for the old business to approve the 2021 city budget.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Wolf.
Second,
Second by Pillar. Discussion.
so Monty, I see on the very bottom of the report, you show a 13% decrease. That's a 13% decrease over the current 2020 budget.
Correct.
Okay.
Oops. Oh.
Any more discussion? So we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Wolf,
Aye.
Heller,
Aye.
Stern,
No,
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, budget is set. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Hey
Dan.
Dan, this is